Welcome back, friends. Today, we're at our quiet backyard, carefully picking corn from the lawn. This isn't just any corn, it's a tradition passed down for generations, meant to be saved for the cold winter months. If you're enjoying this journey with us, don't forget to hit subscribe. Join us as we explore more family traditions, home-cooked meals, and stories that warm the heart. Did you know that corn, or maize as it's called in many parts of the world, has been cultivated for over 9,000 years? It started in southern Mexico and has been a staple crop that shaped civilizations long before modern agriculture. Corn comes in so many colors: yellow, white, red, purple, and even blue. Each variety has a unique taste and purpose, from sweet corn for summer meals to starchy corn used in traditional breads and tortillas. Native American tribes believed corn was a sacred gift from the gods. It wasn't just food, it was central to their ceremonies, their art, and even their storytelling. Each harvest was a celebration of life itself. Meanwhile, my wife is chopping the chicken, the heart of tonight's hearty vegetable stew. This isn't just a quick weeknight meal, it's a dish with roots that trace back centuries, a comforting tradition passed down through countless kitchens. Stews like this one were originally created out of necessity. Families would take whatever meat and vegetables they had on hand, simmering them slowly in a pot to stretch ingredients and create a warm, nourishing meal. In many cultures, the combination of meat and vegetables in a single pot was a symbol of abundance and family unity. From the French pot-au-feu to Eastern European goulash, these recipes brought generations together around the table. Historically, stews were often cooked in clay pots over open fires, allowing the flavors to meld slowly. This method was used by peasants and royalty alike, proving that good food knows no social boundaries. My grandmother used to tell me stories of how her family would gather in the kitchen for hours, chopping, stirring, and sharing tales. The smell of simmering chicken and vegetables was the scent of home and security. In some regions, these stews were considered celebratory meals, cooked during harvest time when vegetables were at their peak. The practice symbolized gratitude for the land and the year's bounty. Chicken stews, in particular, were prized because chicken was often reserved for special occasions. Families would treat this meal as a sign of love and care, especially for children and elders. Now my wife is turning her attention to the corn, carefully placing each ear into jars. Preserving corn this way has been a method used for centuries, allowing families to enjoy the sweet taste of summer long into the cold months. Pickling and fermenting vegetables like corn is an ancient practice. In many cultures, people discovered that adding salt or brine not only extended shelf life but also enhanced flavor, creating a unique tanginess. Salted corn has its own special place in culinary traditions. In Eastern Europe, for example, preserved corn was a winter staple used in soups, stews, and side dishes, making it a vital part of household sustenance. Now it's time for a little break. We sit down with a warm cup of tea, letting the aromas of the kitchen mingle with the quiet moments of the afternoon. It's a small pause, but one that brings a sense of calm and connection. The chicken with vegetables is almost ready, the kitchen filled with that irresistible aroma of slow-cooked goodness. Meanwhile, my wife begins chopping fresh greens for a crisp salad, adding that bright, refreshing contrast to our rich, savory dish. It's these little touches that turn a simple dinner into a feast. And now, a question for all of you watching. What's your favorite way to enjoy chicken with vegetables? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your family recipes and tips. Finally, the moment we've been waiting for. All of this delicious food ready to taste. The chicken is tender, the vegetables perfectly cooked, and the salad adds that fresh, crisp finish. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and join us for more family meals, stories, and kitchen adventures. Today we're diving into our little autumn treasure, harvesting these gorgeous plums straight from our backyard. There's something magical about gathering fruit with the family, each plum holding memories of sunny afternoons and laughter. If you love cozy kitchen stories and family traditions as much as we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to join us in every little adventure. We always start by washing the plums carefully, one by one. My grandmother would say, "Treat them gently, they carry the sunshine inside." I still remember my tiny hands struggling to hold the slippery fruit. Preparing plums for winter might look simple, but there's an art to it. Each method tells a story about the region, the people, and their traditions. Long ago, before fridges existed, people had to find ways to enjoy fruit year-round. It's said that in ancient Europe, families discovered that cooking fruit with sugar preserved it, turning fleeting summer harvests into winter treasures.
Small corns.
In some regions, monks in monasteries were the first to refine preservation techniques. They experimented with boiling, fermenting, and storing fruit in sealed containers, passing down these secrets through centuries. Legends tell of farmers noticing that plums left in a cool, dark cellar didn't rot as quickly. Over time, they tried adding sugar or honey, creating the first simple jams and preserves. In Japan, people pickled plums into umeboshi centuries ago, both for taste and for medicinal purposes. They discovered that preservation not only kept the fruit edible, but enhanced its flavor. In medieval Europe, plums were considered precious. They were often preserved for festivals and special occasions, showing that even then, people understood the magic of saving summer in a jar. Now let's take a little break from plums and move on to something equally comforting: chicken for lunch. Today we're making a classic dish, chicken with gravy and onions. It's simple, but each bite carries centuries of culinary tradition. The story of roasting chicken goes back to ancient times. Early civilizations learned to cook poultry over open fires, experimenting with herbs and vegetables to enhance flavor. What we call a classic dinner today is the result of thousands of years of experimentation. Adding onions and making a rich gravy is a European tradition, especially in Eastern Europe. Onions not only add flavor, but were historically used to tenderize meat and make it last longer. Did you know that in medieval Europe, chickens were sometimes cooked with wine or beer in the sauce? The alcohol would enhance flavor and keep the meat tender, creating the rich, comforting sauces we love today. Now it's time for a little pause, tea with homemade jam and cookies. This is one of our family's sweetest traditions, a quiet moment to savor the flavors and share stories, just like we've done for generations. Well, our chicken is almost ready, and now my wife is slicing the onions to fry them with the chicken in the pan. The anticipation in the kitchen is palpable. Every chop, every sizzle adds to the story. In many households, this dish was a Sunday ritual. Families gathered around the table, sharing stories while the chicken cooked slowly. It's a reminder that food and family are inseparable in memory and tradition. Just imagine the aroma filling the kitchen, the sweet, savory smell of onions caramelizing, blending with the golden chicken. It's a scent that instantly makes the kitchen feel like home. Every family has its twist. Some add herbs from the garden, others a pinch of sugar to balance the onions. These small choices make the dish personal and memorable, connecting generations in taste. My wife just went to collect fresh eggs from our chickens. There's something so simple and satisfying about picking eggs straight from the coop. Tiny treasures of the day. The yolks will be added to the chicken with onions, giving the dish extra richness and creaminess. It's a small touch that makes a big difference in flavor. And of course, we add fresh herbs, parsley, dill, a little touch of green to brighten the dish. It's amazing how a few sprigs can transform both taste and aroma. So as we pour the gravy over the golden chicken, remember, this isn't just lunch. It's a story of kitchens, families, and the simple joys of sharing a meal together, a tradition that transcends time and place. Well, everything is finally ready. We're sitting down at the table, ready to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Enjoy your meal, everyone, and don't forget to subscribe for more cozy family cooking adventures. Today we're wandering through the narrow streets of an ancient town looking for the perfect ingredients for our family's old pickle preserves recipe. You can almost smell the history here. The stone walls, the market stalls, the stories passed for centuries. If you love stories that taste like home, hit that subscribe button. Every week we bring back a recipe with a soul, a bit of nostalgia, and a lot of heart. My wife and I have this little weekend ritual. We go to the market together. We stop at the same stall every time, the old lady with shawl. She remembers us, always insists we try one on. Somehow we never leave without buying at least one. Markets have a rhythm, a heartbeat of the town. Before supermarkets, this was where everything happened. People met, shared news, recipes, gossip. It wasn't just shopping, it was connection. My grandmother told me stories about how, back in her days, people would trade eggs for flour, apples for honey. No money, just trust. Can you imagine building dinner out of kindness like that? My wife laughs when I spend too long choosing cucumbers, but for pickles you need the right kind, firm, small, full of life. She says I treat them like diamonds. She's not wrong. Well, here we are, finally home. The kitchen smells like fresh dill and garlic, and my wife's already rolling up her sleeves. There's this big clay jar we bought at the market, and she swears everything tastes better when it's made in it. Pickling has been around for thousands of years. The Mesopotamians were already preserving cucumbers in brine over 4,000 years ago. Imagine, somewhere far away, someone was doing exactly what we're doing now. Back then, there were no refrigerators, no fancy jars, just salt, water, and patience. Pickling wasn't a hobby, it was survival. A way to trap summer inside glass for when the world turned cold. My grandmother used to say, a good pickle tastes like time, and I think she meant that some flavors only come with waiting and love, because there's no rushing fermentation, no shortcut for care. You know, in Eastern Europe, pickling was almost sacred. Families gathered every year at the end of summer. Everyone had a role. Kids washed the jars, parents cut the vegetables, grandparents told stories about winters past. And of course, my wife has her own system. She always packs some of the pickles into bottles instead of jars. Says it's easier to grab one straight from the fridge when you just need that quick, crunchy bite. Every family has their own little ritual, their secret ingredient, their "this is how we do it" moment. What about you? How do you make your pickles? Sweet, sour, spicy, or just like Grandma used to? Now my wife is pouring the last bit of brine into the clay jar and all the bottles, making sure every cucumber is tucked safely under that golden liquid. The smell of garlic and dill fills the whole kitchen. She covers the big jar first, a layer of plastic wrap, then a lid, and finally a simple bag on top. It's her way of keeping out the air while letting the magic of fermentation do its quiet work. And now comes the old tradition when we carry the big clay jar outside and lower it gently into the ground. The earth stays cool and steady, the perfect natural refrigerator. My grandfather used to say, "If you trust the soil, it will keep your secrets, will kill and your pickles. Down there, they'll rest for weeks, slowly turning that perfect shade of green and gold." While we sit here, sipping hot tea and sharing a plate of sweet baklava, take a moment to subscribe. There's plenty more stories, recipes, and memories to share, straight from our kitchen, with love.